Alright, welcome back to Roguetech, and welcome back to Challenge Run from the Ashes. So, we are going to continue this campaign, reverting once again, but this is the final reversion, because at this point, I have decided that we are going to maintain it as a challenge run only in the economics. So, I'm going to keep the sell and scrap at 5%. I'm going to keep the, expense of the mech bay, but I'm not going to have any restrictions on dropping on missions. And if you don't want to watch that, I'm sorry, but have a nice day. I'm always going to challenge myself. I am not one who enjoys just dropping on mission after mission that I know I'm going to win. So I will still be dropping on more and more challenging missions. And once I maybe have better mechs, once I have things less terrible, perhaps I'll be able to start pushing, the missions higher than the Lance rating. But right now, from what I've seen, the early game at least, it's harsh. And so I'm just going to drop on whatever missions. Sometimes I'll take some milk runs, like I'm planning on dropping on this assassinate and planning to kill everything. That's what I'm going to do this episode. And I think that'll be somewhat telling. Dropping my 3 units on an assassination. That's a full chevron lower, so a difficulty 1 mission with a rated for difficulty 3 lance. It'll be very telling to see how much easier, if at all, fighting at least 5 units, probably 9 units, that are rated at, that are half chevron, single 1 difficulty mission, and seeing how different that is compared to the effectively 4 units we were fighting in the 2 chevron, the 4 difficulty mission. And yeah, it might just be that the early game is far more harsh, and until you get mechs that are kitted out a bit, then you're not going to be able to just assume that you can do anything in any way. But for any missions that I'm dropping on that I don't have to kill everything, after this experiment for assassinations, for ambush convoys, defend bases, stuff like that, I will probably always push well above what I'm currently dropping. But that's not going to be the default, I don't think, and I'm only going to be doing that in situations where I think I can complete the objective and get out. Like I did with the recovery mission. That was a great example of, I was confident, since they hadn't changed how recovery missions work, that I could get in, get the target, and get out without the bushwhacker being destroyed. So, if you specifically are here just for the crazy challenge runs of, looking at the difficulty and laughing and having Darius tell me every single time that the mission looks like it calls for more than I'm dropping, that will probably come to pass later in the playthrough if it literally is just that the early game is extra brutal. But if the feeling that the rating of a mission is a minimum requirement at this point, then if that feeling is maintained, then I will not be even restricting myself to at or below. I'm just going to be playing more or less a normal playthrough as it comes to the battles. But the economic side of things, I am still going to keep things tight. I'm still going to be having to make decisions on whether or not I want to, spend the money upgrading the Argo, or if I want to spend the money making the 1 mech more powerful. I mean, we'll see how it pans out, but it's still going to hold the title of Challenge Run just because it is still economically harder than default. But, if you specifically came for the crazy battle ratings, it's not feasible to drop on every single mission where you're losing half your lance. Like, that's just not viable. So again, if it is just the early game is, more brutal than it used to be, due to changes to, how evasion and... it is also the fact that evasion is much easier to come by. So, slower things still get more evasion than they used to. And the hit chances not being increased for flanking attacks and backstrikes, as well as, even if there was no change at all to how difficulty or lance rating were calculated, the other incidental changes have changed how, at least for the early game, your lance rating compares to the difficulty. And it could also just be that, volume of fire is the only reliable way through the early game now, and the fact that I've been scrapping things as they fell was the reason that things got so incredibly spicy. But we will definitely keep things challenging in the future. Since I am not dropping on missions where I'm probably going to lose something every single mission, I am still going to be maintaining the scrapping of anything that is destroyed and firing pilot to eject. That's going to be part of the economic difficulty. But if you're expecting the combats to be hey, this is a, 2 chevron mission, he's going to drop a 1 chevron lance, that's not happening. It, again, might happen for some things, like if I'm doing an ambush, if I'm doing ambush convoy or assassinate or defend base or whatever, I might very well drop under strength. But that's not going to be the default. And I'm about to demonstrate why, I think. I suspect that this is going to be a mission that is very indicative of how things are. Not saying that I think it'll prove me right or anything. It's just this is going to be the best litmus test possible for if it's just that low difficulty missions because of the number of people you're facing are more difficult, or if it's... Basically, we'll see if this is a cakewalk or if it actually is still a challenge. Alright, so we've got a cicada. Cicada should be easy to take down. And that usually means that the defending units, the lance or 2 that are supporting the cicada, are going to be much, much more valuable than the cicada itself. So, we got a quick little assassination target, and probably at least, I would say, well, so far only showing 4. I was going to say at least 8, but it might actually be at least 4. Supporting units that are going to be much higher value than the actual enemy itself. And I am very tempted to just start, in the water. But then I remembered I have a tank. So I'm going to start where the bushwhacker can jump into the water. And then I'm going to drop the gnat in the tank there. Cool. So time to find out how much worse or better to battle lance of difficulty 2 or 2 chevron enemies is compared to a single lance of half difficulty. So there's the cicada enemy. We got the Cloudbuster, a boombox. Okay. Pirate Thunderer. Alright. And then a Hetzer Quicksell 3.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, this is considerably weaker than what I was, I was about to say than what I was expecting, but no, this is about what I was expecting.
No sweat.
And it's going to be interesting to see how rough this already is. Like, these are definitely not nearly as threatening as the things we were facing can get 9 evasion in the water. I could also get 10 evasion on land. Let's do that. But yeah. I have a strong feeling.
Confirmed.
A very strong feeling that this is still going to be... This is still going to be a bit of a challenge. Even though they are definitely bringing far weaker than what we were facing in that crazy lance that dropped right on top of us. Or that we dropped right on top of last episode. But it was just a dream. Didn't actually happen. I suppose I should have said that, like, I am no longer going to be restarting. I don't know if that was clear from the confusion of the last several episodes of trying to figure out what we were doing. But, this is it. This is the final answer here.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Final answer is yes. Yes, we are going to do exactly this. Just shy of optimal range. There's optimal range. That's what I was looking for. Hi. Hello, cicada. Water cooling's nice. Is it worth the 11.2% crit chance? I don't think so.
Special delivery!
Our primary target is taking damage.
Hey, we already got a pilot injury.
What
That's
do you
cool.
need?
But yeah, basically if this doesn't do the trick, then all my assessments about oh wow, that's something I can't get out of. But yeah, all my assessments about it being the difference in difficulty would be proven completely false if what happens here is that I still get wrecked by these tanks. At that point, it would just show that
Acknowledged.
its volume of fire and its number of units, and if you're dropping under, you know, less units than your enemies, then you're doomed. That's what it would prove if we still get wrecked here. Yeah, I'm literally just gonna focus fire. Focus fire the cicada.
I'm on him.
Nice. Unsettled, injured. PPC from downtown missing. Yeah, that's the Pirate Thunderer. Not sure what the Hetzer is going to be running. I'm sure we'll get sensors on them soon enough, but...
Good to go.
Yeah, killing the cicada is not, at any point, something I'm worried about being able to do.
Moving out.
It's just a matter of time. The thing I'm worried about is whether or not... Okay, this actually also gets us over the TSM.
Here we go.
Well, the rack unjammed, and we did not crit. Our heavy PPC did not crit, so that's good. But I was very much expecting the 70-something% to land and just deal with it already. It did not. And now we can't quite make it into optimal range. Yeah. Yeah.
Acknowledged.
Just gonna run in now. Sure.
Aye aye. Engaging target.
Tag did not land. That's really all we care about right now, is trying to get that tag on the cicada. Killing the lance of vehicles is gonna come after, but... yeah. Can we even kill the cicada before we start taking serious damage from everyone else? Genuine question. I don't know the answer.
All weapons, go!
Alright. I'm definitely seeing much more reliable damage from my LRMs now that the Now that Tinker has the bonus plus 0.5, clustering or whatever. Huh. That was a red line. I wonder if it was a tag or if it was something else. Something interesting. Okay, big scary missiles missed. Here's the Hetzer. Still doing nothing.
I hear ya.
Okay, so Cicada is somehow still alive.
Coordinates received.
And we're going to work on that not being the case. Drop that back down to standard. Bring the handheld rack back into play.
Time to die.
Still alive.
What do you need?
I am impressed, genuinely. This Cicada has no right to still be alive. Other than just our Mechwarriors missing every single shot. And I am just going to shoot him in the face. Point blank. With all the lasers.
Let her rip.
Okay. Fair enough. I did only get 5 evasion. That's as much evasion as my medium mechs.
Oh, crap. Oh, that hit me.
Alright. So, yep, single weapon system. Fires, lands, kills. So that does support the idea that perhaps it's just the early game. And or light vehicles and mechs are just not really viable anymore. Which is a shame, because I thought for the longest time the Roguetech modders were very intent on making sure that, you could run mixed lances. Alright, coolant flush active. In the water, it is actually enough.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Okay.
Another
Injury was
hit like that
resisted,
and
but he is
you're
panicked.
Nice try.
Alright.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah.
Copy that.
Shooting in the fresh back armor.
No.
Panic eject. Beautiful. Now, I am still keeping to the lights to mediums to heavies and all that, but scrapping things I am not going to do, I don't think. Just, again, until I at least have, enough units to deal with the problems inherent with weapon systems being so coin flippy.
Waiting for orders.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But here comes a really good question. PBC Pirate Pepperbox Rifles. Double AC-20 Quicksell. That is the highest priority target. I cannot get into optimal range, but I can get 4 evasion. That'll have to do.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Hi. Yeah, you need to die, immediately. Please do.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Did not kill.
Let's move.
Does the tag land?
Take this.
Some people prefer the, heavy and assault gameplay. My favorite mechs are all, lights and mediums, Or at least my favorite playstyle has always been lights and mediums. I do like me some heavies, but it's usually the go fast heavies.
Is that it?
Never been a fan of the walls of metal just walking at each other, blowing each
hear
other to
ya.
pieces. Fortunately, that is sometimes what it feels like the only viable option is in some
On my
games. Drop that back to standard. That once again activates the coolant flush.
Tell me what to shoot.
Alright, there's the double AC-20 off the field.
Come on, Mechwarriors. It's go time.
Although, to be fair, you know, quick sell
Yeah?
double AC-20 is terrifying no matter what you're running.
Confirmed.
And I'm pretty sure a side hit on most vehicles that are not, you know, assault class. Probably also go down. But it is still very much definitively clear that we are faring much, much better than we were, despite the number of enemies versus the number that we have.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Yep. I'm going to wait. Left torso is at 135, right arm is at 90. So I do have enough armor left to still twist.
Got it.
Give me a nice little shot here. I will switch back to standard. I still don't like the crit chance. Even though a crit will just make it less accurate. I'm also going to vigilance. Reduce the damage I take and increase my initiative next round.
Got it.
What do you need?
There we go. Beautiful.
Roger.
I know backstriking no longer gives hit chance and all that, but if I can land the tag,
Attacking
that'll
from
help.
position.
Uh-oh. That is a vehicle charging. And missing. Alright. Cement Mixer did not manage to land its charge. Ow. Wait,
Whoa! Easy on the armor, buddy.
does Vigilance not get guarded anymore?
Waiting for orders.
Gain guarded and entrenched. Why is the gauntlet not guarded? Did the charge attack remove guarded even though it missed?
Good to go.
Is that a thing? Huh. Well.
Affirmative.
Well. Regardless. Oh wow. Our left torso is almost open. I did not pay attention. I was too distracted by the guarded thing. Or rather, the
Yep.
lack of guarded thing. 95 in the front, 84 in the back. Well then.
Bugging out.
I can't actually get in the water down here, huh? I see.
Take this.
Alright. We did successfully tag. There goes half the gnat. Alright.
Ugh. I'm hit. Ugh. Ugh.
Alright.
Losing lots of armor.
Yeah.
Commander?
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. So this twist
Moving to position.
should give me... I definitely go for the guaranteed hit. I needed that kill.
That's a kill.
Ow! What did he just shoot me with?
My armor's melting off.
You can speak this. This doesn't inspire confidence.
Alright. Ah, light AC-20. That's what he shot me in the back with. Well
Waiting
then.
for orders.
Alright, I don't want to get shot in the back or in the left. Thunderbolt 10s or light AC-20. What am I more worried about? I mean, I can get distance enough that the light AC-20 shouldn't be able to... Then again... That is a lot of armor. He will eventually be able to get to me. Yeah, I'm gonna jump. Okay, the water is not enough to be able to jump like crazy and fire things. Alright. So here's hoping. Arguably probably should have braced, but it's fine. Yeah, he can go really far too. Cool. Ow.
Minor damage, Commander.
Half skull mission. Fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying the challenge. I'm glad that it's a challenge. But this does kind of suggest that things will get much easier once the early game is passed. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, this little guy's scary. Haha. Haha. Oh boy, he actually got to go again. Well.
Commander?
Yes. That.
On
Do
my
that.
way.
Really? Alright.
Good to go.
So the rack unjammed. Right, left torso is the one that's almost open. Uh-oh. I mean, at this point, I kind of have to just go FC. Like, every time. Until it dies from it.
Targeting enemy stick.
Or continue missing.
All out long-range missiles, Commander.
Or continue missing. Yeah.
Waiting for orders.
So, this is its fresh side. it is facing this way. I want to hit it on the right. Which means I actually can't hit it where I want to. Ow. Alright.
Good to go.
It has not escaped my notice that even in this half-skull mission... Oh, I'm just out of LRM ammo. Huh. Unless at some point the LRM ammo exploded and I didn't notice. No. I think I just ran out. Fair enough.
Time to fly.
Right. That's a thing. That doesn't even kill. Well.
Commander?
I mean, yeah, I guess. %.
Roger, Commander. I've got the shot. Waiting for orders.
Yeah, I think the AI just bugged, and that's like the only reason that they're not doing anything.
Got it.
Am I gonna take advantage of it? You bet I am.
Roger, we can do this! Let's go! Enemy down.
Okay. Alright. And there's still a chance that we lose the Bushwhacker right now.
Come on, Mechwarriors! It's go time!
Like, there is still every chance that the Bushwhacker goes down to an inopportune backstrike or whatever.
Got it. Good to go.
Alright. If I shoot it from the rear,
Coordinates received.
surely it will die. Right? I'm also going to Vigilance, so I have higher initiative next round.
Affirmative.
Alright.
Systems recycling for another shot. Commander?
Handheld rack unjammed.
Got
Get
it.
a little closer. FC rack. Go.
Targeting enemy backside.
Finally. Wow. Alright.
Mech?
So yeah, it is still going to very much be a challenging
Mission
run.
successful.
Alright. So we got paid 100,000. It's expected. We went all salvage. We did not lose either Tinker or Sarge. We did have the Scorpion go down and the Gnat go down. Including the Gnat's... the Gnat's XL engine got busted. So, well... Now for salvage. Okay, so even though they punched out, the Cicada only has 4 parts left because we busted it up so bad. Yeah. The 40... medium tanks appear to have far more armor than the light tanks. Oh, never mind. Hetzer has... Well, it's a quick cell Hetzer. But, yeah, that Thunder definitely has a ton of armor, and I love to see it. That's a 320 engine core. That's nice. Hilariously, another Tiger. Love to see it. Another light AC-20. There is a world. There is a world where I could potentially... Nah, because short range doesn't work as well with stealth as long range does. Keeping enemies at arm's length. So yeah, if I was going with not salvaging light or medium vehicles, then I wouldn't be able to pick any of that. But as I've seen, even a half skull or half chevron mission, we're getting wrecked. Yeah. I'm taking the Thunder. And the Hetzer, I think. I think just getting more units is the only way that this works. Oh, right. You can't. So that's yeah. I'm still old style of I see one slot, I think one slot, but no, this is much more than a single slot. That's 1 plus 12, that's 1 plus 17. I believe somebody in the comments mentioned you can only get one pre-assembled thing. So we're getting the Pirate Thunder. It did lose the Pirate ECM. Okay. I think that might be a built-in component, so it might get repaired. I don't know. Lost a machine gun and half bin of machine gun ammo. Still has all the important stuff. So, Pepperbox rifle with internal ammo. Yeah. Cool. Let's go ahead and bust this up, since we're not picking it. Excuse me. What do I do here, though? I think I definitely take the engine core. I will soon have a medium that is running that engine core and going very, very fast. I'm still not counting vehicles towards the 15 light mechs. Although then again, that brings that entire challenge into consideration. Is that actually realistically viable? Even if I'm not scrapping things that go down. Since can't even do a half skull mission or half chevron mission without losing 2 out of the 3 units I'm dropping. I don't know. I think I don't know. Definitely taking the tagger. Tag helps. I don't think we lost the tag on our NAT, but we did lose the XL engine, so that's unfortunate. I might just take the standard fusion engine to sell it. There is cool stuff, don't get me wrong. The light AC-20 especially is... Actually, the light AC-20 sells for as much as the engine, just about. And I might actually use it at some point. 2 light AC-20s would be amazing if I can put them in like a heavily armored vehicle or something, or a mech that is able to get close and pop them in the back with a dual light AC-20. Anyway, that's our loot. Alright. It's a tank boss, they all look the same. Alright. Yeah, so for now I'm just going to click yes on repairs. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to think on it. I'm going to sleep on it. And either we just continue. Also, this Pirate Thunder. That's pretty cool. Out of curiosity, I have to know. I have to know. This is, again... Aha! Should be no more than 3 slots. Okay. So it is a per weapon. It's not a per location. It's per weapon. I think both of the other vehicles that I looked at, I only had so much. But yeah, that's interesting. And if we repair all, we do lose the machine gun and the machine gun ammo, but we do not lose the ECM. The ECM is built in. Okay. Interesting. I do have a machine gun. And I do have a half bin of ammo. So I could restore it just completely to stock. But I'm gonna hold off on that and think for a bit. Again, before I commit to anything, I'm gonna have to decide the rest, and all I know for sure is, wow, that was way more difficult than I think a half skull mission used to be. And a big part of that probably is just, accuracy and evasion changes. That matters so much more in the early game than in the late game. But it's fine. Regardless, definitely less challenge, more runs. So whoever voted option 4 in that poll back then was... Congratulations, you're being rewarded with what you wanted. Sorry it took me so long to figure it out. And sorry that I'm leaving you without certain knowledge of exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to have fun. And I'm going to challenge myself. That's all I know. For now, that's been your episode of Roguetech for the day. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good